Good evening, everyone. Tonight I'm bringing you the first of two special Transformers toy reviews straight from Japan. And this first figure I'm doing tonight is Transformers Legends LGEX Greatshot. I don't often import things from overseas, mainly just due to, the inflated prices and all that. But the original Greatshot figure is so very rare today, and this is a character that hasn't been released since then, so I really didn't want to miss out. So here you have this really just gorgeous Legend style box. Kind of has a retro feel to it with like the red grid and everything. This really nice big shot of Greatshot on the front. You've got his different modes displayed right here: jet mode, battle car mode, beast mode, tank mode, submarine mode, and this really nice art right here depicts his robot mode. You can also see the Headmaster pictured right here. It says Headmaster down there. Turn on the side. Breakdown of his alternate modes again, along with his little Headmaster, showing where that thing goes. Back just shows it off a little more. Has some advertisements down here that I can't read, but they appear to be just advertising the Legends universe material in general. Artwork there. Text, nothing exciting there. And then the top, showing his head connecting there, which is interesting. Alright, so yeah, it's a very nice box. It doesn't have any sort of viewing window or anything, just very plain style box. So we're going to go ahead, open it up, take a look at what's inside. The first thing of note is this very large instruction booklet that actually doubles as a comic. It's got text specs on the back, pictures of his modes again, and this thing opens up. Alright, you completely unfold it. The inside of it has just the instructions, and you can see there's quite a bit because he does have 6 modes. Fold it back over, and you have this manga comic book. And remember, if you're not familiar with Japanese, they read right to left, vice left to right. So obviously I can't read this, but I have had this story, translated for me so I can kind of explain what's going on here. So basically, you got this battle going on. Marissa's there, Jetfire's there. Mysterious dude bro comes and helps them out. They're like, oh my god, who was that guy? They get Starsaber just walking in all nonchalant, like, oh yeah, let me tell you all about that. Let me fill you in. And then this flashes back to some time ago, prior to the events of Transformers Zone. And you have this bandaged up little Headmaster guy that definitely isn't Six-Shot in hiding, except it is. And Starsaber's little smallest form here is talking to him, showing that he made him a new Transdector with which he can, redeem himself for his past deeds, fight evil. He's like, oh, hey, Giga, he'll like totally help you out. Because that's a thing Giga's known for doing, is being super helpful. All right, and then time skips a little bit to the Transdector, which is actually now Six-Shot. And then his little Headmaster, who is Jack, who is a character that Six-Shot killed in the Headmaster's anime, is a way to make a personal strike against Chrome Dome because Jack was Chrome Dome's best friend. And they're just arguing over like, oh, hey, you owe me because you killed me, blah, blah, blah. All right, then it jumps back again, and it shows Overlord infusing this new Transdector with life. You can see Six-Shot's head, like unmodified, is still in it there. And then kind of referencing back to how this whole bigger bot shrinking down in Headmaster's things originated with Megatron. Shows that they convert Six-Shot's little Headmaster form into a new body for Jack, placing Six-Shot's consciousness into the Transdector itself. You got some stuff going on here. I think it's just them reviving Jack or whatever. Chrome Dome gets a little kind of tearful reunion with his best friend Jack, who he believed to be dead. And they chatted out, and then Jack and Six Shot, now as Greatshot, kind of adventure out together, fight evil. This shows some of the adventures that Greatshot and Starsaber have together, just fighting the bad guys. And then we have kind of another time skip. Greatshot is shown to be badly injured, and then he gets rescued by the grateful good guys that, are kind of thanking him for turning over a new leaf. And he eventually has the whole Headmaster component removed from him, so Jack is now a completely independent character, and Greatshot now just has a full, functioning body again. And then this leads into Transformers victory later. So that was a bit lengthy, but it was, it was a cool read, and this kind of officially canonizes Greatshot's identity as a reformed Six Shot. So that's pretty neat. Apparently there were some people out there that kind of had a theory about that for a long time, and Takara decided to confirm that. So pretty cool. All right, let's move on to the figure itself now. All right, starting out, we have the Headmaster figure, Jack. You can see he's got a nice little bit of painted detail on his shins, on his face there. Silver face with some blue eyes, if you can see that. There's a little robot mode face that he has. Very nice little golden crest, though the paint on mine is a little sloppy. But, whatever. And this is a really neat little nod to, the Headmaster's character, Jack. And what's interesting is that this isn't a new mold. The Titans Return Six Shot actually did this first, which is odd because Titans Return is a Hasbro line, a non-Japanese line, and they decided to mold Six Shot's Headmaster into a Japanese cartoon-only character that's very obscure, whereas the Japanese version of Six Shot doesn't use this molding. His Headmaster is actually just a tiny version of Six Shot, like we saw in the manga there. So yeah, it seemed a little backwards. Seemed odd that Takara didn't take advantage of this and include that nod that, I'm sure some of their fans would get. But they eventually caught up and did it here with Greatshot. Just for good measure, here is Quick Switch's version of that mold. You just want to see how they compare. Definitely one of the more intricately tooled Headmaster / Titan Master figures I've seen. Moving on to the mode in which Greatshot comes packaged, we have his jet mode. And one thing you may notice right away, if you're familiar with the other use of this mold, is that he has an entirely new chest here. It's this nice, eagle emblazoned chest. It's completely different from the clear cockpit one. And then these little top wings, or fins, tail wings, whatever you call them, are completely new and much bigger. And I'll let you compare those in a moment. Also, his shoulder little pylon things now have cannons attached to them. This is all a new piece. Nothing else is new, though, as far as molding. Well, one more thing, but I'll get to that in the robot mode. This is a very nice, color scheme. Copious amounts of paint, which is always pretty good. Painted cockpit. Plastic colors are very nice. The added guns work really well for this because they point forward like they should in this jet mode. And then, of course, he's got his little cannons attached to the wings. Got some landing gear there so that this thing displays nicely. And then this bit can open up, become a cockpit for Jack. So you just go ahead and sit him just kind of flat right in there. His heels kind of plug in, close it, and he's nice and safe. You also have the helmet on the back here, which is a little unsightly, but not too bad. Blends in fairly well. So yeah, that's his first mode. For comparison's sake, here he is along with Six Shot and Quick Switch. And you can see the differences are pointed out there. The completely different chest and wings, different shoulder bits. So yeah, these three work really well together as a set. All right, our second form is the battle car mode. This is honestly one of my favorite modes of this toy. Just very compact, very different looking from the others. And, rolls on wheels. Admittedly not very well. There's definitely some clearance issues here. But it's almost like a tank. See Jack along for the ride. He can fit one of two seats. Got the guns up here. Yeah, this thing just charges along. It's got this paint app that kind of looks like a windshield there. Though windshield's kind of pointless with him sitting out of the top, but hey, whatever. That was a piece of plastic or something stuck to that. So yeah, not a lot going on here, but it does look very cool. Very, very Mad Max-esque. Here's the other two figures in their battle car mode for comparison. No big differences to be found here, though one thing that probably is worth pointing out, the transformation for this guy involves you folding his little tail fins or wings over his chest. Whereas in the other versions of this mold, the fins actually tuck away inside. They go inwards. So it was a very creative way to deal with the much larger wings on the chest without making them too obstructive. This is Greatshot's Beast Mode, more specifically a Rhino mode. This doesn't look a whole lot like a rhino. It's got like claws and a long tail like this and wings. And there's a reason why it doesn't match up too well. I'll show you that in a second. His Headmaster plugs in here in the head mode just to kind of fill that in. And because of this kind of hole in front, you can just see the face when you look at it at the right angle, so it comes off looking a little weird. But overall, this is very cool looking. Head moves up and down, mouth opens, closes. His tail is formed by the two cannons connected together, which, as an added bonus in this configuration, serve as kind of a seating place for a Titan Master type figure. You see the pegs right there, so they can sit in that. And yeah, he's very cool looking. Now comparing him to Six-Shot, you probably noticed something right away. That Six-Shot isn't a rhino, he's a wolf. So they did some major retooling to the upper part of the head here to give Greatshot his classic rhino mode, just like they did with the original Greatshot toy, which, of course, was a retool of the original Six-Shot. They came out with this very smart way of just kind of tucking the horn away, just kind of folds in, folds all the way in when that head bit isn't there. Greatshot's little extra head is, a lot more conspicuous than it is for Six-Shot. His is hidden a little better. But both very cool looking beast modes. Here's the whole trio, so you can just kind of get a look at them together. Okay, now the fourth mode we have to look at tonight is the quote-unquote Submarine Mode. And it looks like some weird sci-fi approximation of a submarine, kind of. Not really. The Headmaster component's been moved in here. See his face there. His legs just kind of fold up in there. Kind of a weird way to store it. If you don't like that, you could always just sit him right here on the front. Those little pegs I mentioned. Now the reason I say quote-unquote submarine mode is anyone that's familiar with the original Six-Shot or Greatshot toys knows that it didn't have a submarine mode. It had a laser pistol mode. And turns out that's what this actually is. It's just upside down. So this is what the mode is really meant to be. A little non-firing, very stretch of the imagination laser pistol. Now, Hasbro, when they released Six-Shot, decided to just turn upside down, call it a submarine for, toy law, gun law considerations. And oddly enough, Takara followed suit when they released their version of Six-Shot and then continued to do so with this guy. I don't know why, because they have completely different laws that govern both real and toy guns. And while they're stricter on actual guns out there, I just realized that I'm like red flagging this video by saying guns so much, but whatever. Their laws toward toy guns, toy weapons are much more lax. So you can have realistic toy guns over there. It's fine. So this pistol mode kind of benefits from the added little cannons on here. Just makes it that much more intimidating because instead of just front barrels, it's got these two on the side. So it's even more ridiculous. But I like it. It's fun. A little pew pew. A little role play action. Here's our look at the other two. They make equally questionable submarine / pistol modes. All right, mode number 5 is tank mode. This is probably my least favorite mode out of the 6. Mainly due to the fact that this turret cannon thing is just, it's not really secure. These don't lock together in any way. And kind of floppy, a little finicky. But it's functional. Yeah. Here most of the weight goes down on like the tank treads and stuff. Got the cockpit where Jack hangs out. It's just not a whole lot going on. It's sort of a heavy artillery mode. As per this video's MO, here are the other two guys just to compare. I will say that the shoulder bits on these work a little better for the tank mode. Like, yeah, he's got extra weapons, but it just doesn't sit as well. It's a little more crooked just because of the shape of those. And this has kind of a nicer, more streamlined appearance. But that's where I fall on that. You might think differently. And now finally we come to Greatshot's robot mode. You may notice he doesn't have a face, and did that on purpose because I wanted to show you guys how they modified his helmet to make it work with the transformation and still allow him to have his horns. So, all new piece here. Fold it out. The horns are actually tucked away inside. You just kind of swing them out. Then you can go ahead and put the Headmaster bit in. Push the horns down. You gotta make sure they're positioned right or it won't close. There we go. Oh, no. There. And there he is. There is the ever daring, ever awesome Greatshot. I love the big chest wings, the cool, blazing eagle there. Colors are really nice. A lot of nice gold paint and stuff. No stickers, because this is a Legends figure, so just skip the stickers. Thank God. My copy, I noticed that his wings are bent a little bit. You can notice they're kind of pointing outwards, and they should be completely straight. And it's probably just a product to how he was stored in the box. My other versions of the figure don't have this issue, so. And yeah, he is a just fantastic update to the original Greatshot figure, and also a much more affordable option. I mean, he's not cheap. He's still, for me, he was like $95, with importing costs and all that, but definitely worth it. Yeah, I think he's my overall favorite version of this mold. So yeah, he comes at a high price tag. Don't know if I could recommend him to, your more casual collector, but if you want a very interesting, unique figure and you're willing to fork over the, $90 to $100 or so to get him, I would do it. You're not going to get a lot of chances to get a figure of this very obscure character. Here's the two mold mates again for one final comparison. You could really just see the big differences between them all. You may notice that I have his transformation a little modified a bit. And I do believe that even though the instructions don't show it, because they're just pretty much copy and paste from his chest wings are meant to be kept tucked inside, because otherwise they completely obscure the stickers that Hasbro went through the trouble of putting on. So it'd be kind of pointless. You wouldn't be able to see them. But that's just me. I'm not big on fan modes, but I do feel like that's probably the way it's supposed to go for him. One very last thing to cover with the Greatshot is that he utilizes a very slight retooling that the Japanese version of Greatshot used. And you can only see it really if you look closely. You see here on his knee, there's this little rectangular nub that's been molded in that's not present on Hasbro versions of this mold. And it's there primarily just to cause a lot of extra friction as his knee gets close to a, straight position. And what that does is prevent him kind of flopping forward at the knees, because some copies of this mold do have that issue. For example, my Quick Switch has it really bad. You just pose him the wrong way and he flops forward. Or if you don't pose him forward enough, he flops back. He is very loose in the knees. So it's a really good fix. And for such an expensive figure, you definitely want it. You don't want to pay that much money for something that can barely stand on its own. And yeah, that's everything. So I hope you enjoyed this look at Greatshot. Very rare, very cool figure. Let me know what you think down below of this figure, if you would actually go through the trouble picking one up. I've really enjoyed doing this review. I've been waiting on this dude for months now. And also stay tuned, because the next review I'm going to do is the other exclusive Legends figure that came out with him. You may already know what that is. And that's all I have left to say for now. Have a great night, and I will see you next time.